want to make money.
What's up, everybody? Episode 53, NFL Week 8. Man, everything's going by so fast. I can't believe we're at Week 8 already. You know?
It's because you lost so many games.
I think it's what it is. It's, geez, I wish we could fast forward to the end of the season. We could start talking about the draft. Oh, no. Come on, guys. Come on. No way. But we did okay betting, except for the fact that our lock was the same lock and it lost. And those damn Chiefs beat us.
Fucking cheaters.
Ugh.
Cheaters. The cheats.
The cheats.
The cheats, they call them.
So brutal.
Yes, that was brutal. I mean, that would have been great. You know, one fucking team that could have beat the Chiefs and they couldn't do it. Stupid Chiefs. But anyway.
Yep. Well, let's just get right into it. Let's talk about players and news, coaches, other people. And I guess we'll just start off with some Jets-related stuff. So, you know, it's like every week. You lose, but, we got Devontae Adams, and then we lost. Haason Reddick has reported for duty, so Haason is in the building. We could use that pass rush, so we'll see what happens. They're going to get him involved this week, probably just on, like, third downs and pass rush situations until he's ready to really, get going and being an all-down type of guy. But we welcome him, so we'll see what happens, see if we can get a dub this week. And then...
Well, you're playing the Patriots.
The Patriots, right. Well, we beat them once already.
You better get the win. It's just, how is the rest of your team going to look while getting that win? And also, if you think this guy's going to be a miracle maker?
Yes.
Just like Devontae Adams is going to make miracles?
Well, it's interesting to think about, though. So I'll break it down. So you have the pass rush, right? The defensive pass rush. Right now, Quinnen Williams is the man. He gets a lot of pressure in the middle. And then you got Will McDonald on the outside, who's now, I think, either leading or in the top couple in sacks this year. So he's getting pressure. The problem is, on the other side, you don't have a lot of pressure. So if you can bring up the middle and then have Will McDonald on one side and then Reddick on the other side, you're really forcing the quarterback to try to stay in the pocket. So I think it could really be a difference maker here for that pass rush. So, we'll see. I don't know about right away this week, but hopefully to do some cool things with like stunts and stuff with the rookie Drake May. But we'll get into that one. Jets related also, though. Robert Saleh, he took a job with the Green Bay Packers, and that's his boy over there. LaFleur's his boy. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of cool, though, right? If you got your friend, first of all, they worked on a deal with Aaron Rodgers to begin with. They were boys. They're like, we can't afford to pay this guy. Let's do a friendly deal. So it's kind of cool, but they picked him up. And what did you say that they said about it?
It's going to be fluid.
Fluid. All right.
Well, how does it work, though? The Jets have to pay him all season. You can't get two paychecks, right?
So you don't double dip, and usually what happens is I think they might have to actually pick up the salary he was going to be making or something. I don't think you could double dip. I'm not sure.
Well, maybe it's partial because I don't think they're going to pay him head coach pay to be fluid and work with the defense. So.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure about that. So maybe he gets a little double dip action, but he's going to go over there and help him out. I'm assuming that it means that like they're going to want him to be the defensive coordinator next year, and they didn't want if you wait to the end of the season, right? It's like everybody might want him to be a defensive coordinator. So it's like, hey, he's my boy. I want him to be here anyway. So let's just pick him up now. And then we'll find a spot. He'll be the defensive coordinator after the season ends. So
good for him.
Good for him, yeah. It's pretty cool.
All right. So we also have, this was kind of quick. This happened on Tuesday. Andy Dalton and his family, including his dog, very important to note, kind of car accident. They're fine. They said they call themselves banged up. But he did end up having a thumb injury, so he will not be playing this Sunday now because of that. Those are the details we have. Nobody went to the hospital, nothing major, which is great because it's a little family, kids, a dog, wife. Nobody wants to get hurt, but he will not be playing. Bryce Young will be in for him due to that.
Which is definitely informing my betting, by the way.
Right. Not that you were looking at the Panthers to win at all, but the spreads are definitely a changing and based off of that. So keep that in mind. Tua is going to make his big debut comeback after being out all these weeks. He got taken out pretty hard by the defense of the Buffalo Bills with another concussion. Fun fact, though, he will not be wearing a Guardian cap, which doesn't make any fucking sense. This man just wants to concuss himself till somebody says, okay, we're done with you. You stop playing. I don't know what he's thinking. But we'll see how he does. Also, that will affect how they play this Sunday as well.
Yeah, I mean, I would just like him to wear a mouthpiece. I mean,
Do something. I don't think he's planning on doing anything different. He's just like, no, whatever. Try it again.
And people who talk shit about the mouthpiece, I just watched Lamar Jackson. Every play he calls it, then he puts his mouthpiece in because he knows he might get hit, and he doesn't get hit that much at all, by the way. And he still plays with it because he knows he runs. But yeah, Tua, wear the mouthpiece, man.
And then big news this week. As of right now, when we're recording this, it has not been completely finalized, but it's almost there. DeAndre Hopkins is going to the goddamn Chiefs. These Chiefs are just ruining everybody's lives. Congratulations if you were born and raised a Chiefs fan. Anybody else, you suck. You just want to get on the good team. I can't believe they're getting yet another weapon. I mean, listen, he's a little older. He didn't do shit on Titans even last year. He definitely wasn't making any record plays, nothing. So he has been kind of hidden for a while. Maybe he's not going to do much with the Chiefs. I don't know, but it's just ridiculous that a player that we all know and know to be very good and talented is going to the Chiefs now. I think it's unfair.
It's pretty cool for him, though. Think about this. You're getting...
I don't care about him.
I'm just saying, last week, Mason Rudolph is throwing you passes, right? Didn't he start because Levis was hurt or something? Yeah. And then he's like, oh, I'm going to go and try to win a Super Bowl. I mean, that's cool for him.
But we have to go watch these damn clowns be the other team again in the Super Bowl. It's like, we basically know the Chiefs will be in the Super Bowl, and then everybody else is just fighting for that one spot. Like, that's unfair. It sucks. I hate the Chiefs.
Yeah, well, beat them, and then that's it. I think you guys have a chance.
Yeah, we'll see.
Right? Because then that's it. You go and you got to beat them in a play. Hopefully, you get a chance to play them in the playoffs to beat them. But
we typically do. We typically make it that far.
Did you guys play them? No, you didn't play them last year in the playoffs, right?
I believe we did. I think they're the team that always takes us out.
Yeah.
I don't know why I can't remember.
Dolphins first round, and then
Dolphins, Steelers, and then I thought it was the Chiefs. Because it's always
no. It was the Bengals, right? That beat you.
No,
that was the year before. Okay, all right. Anyway,
at least we get there.
Yeah, well,
you don't even see that part. Yeah,
it must be nice.
So
she's talking about, oh, damn the Chiefs. Well, damn the Bills for being in the playoffs a bunch of years in a row.
Well, you don't even have a shot ever.
Yeah. Well, last on the agenda here, we got a little fun one with Chris Christie, which I don't know why anybody's listening to him.
What's in his mouth, by the way?
Oh, I put an ice cream cone there. He's always
That's ice cream?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a weird looking.
There was a few different options for the ice cream cone, but he looked dumb in this one. He was on a podcast, and he's a big Cowboys fan, because why would you be you grow up in the Northeast? You're Cowboys fan. Big Cowboys fan.
Team.
Yeah, exactly. And then he said that what Dan Campbell did, which is run up the score on them and beat them whatever it was, 47-9 or something like that. He said that was classless, and that he was just mad about the referees from the year before, where there was a bad call, and don't blame it on the Cowboys. It's like, this is the NFL, buddy. Anyway, what are you talking about? So they asked Dan Campbell about it in a press conference, and he was just like, look, I'm not worried about it. He's like, last time I was called classless, I was guzzling wine out of a bottle, so everything's going to be just fine. And he moved on. I like Dan Campbell, and, I get it. Clap back at Christie,
Jesus.
All right. How do we do betting? So hit rate-wise, we actually did pretty good, We hit 5 out of 8 games for a positive 63%.
Your total at the end there doesn't reflect any of this, though, sir.
No, because I bet too much on the Niners and the Jets, and it was a very disappointing outcome of those 2 games.
I really got to start betting more, because I'm the one that's just driving this whole thing, but I'm putting my little baby bets on, and I'm seeing you driving the whole large negative number thing. Not good.
What'd you hit, 5 out of 6?
Yeah, I only lost on the damn Niners lock.
Not bad, but oh well. We'll get it next time, I guess. Look, some of these games, the ones, the Niners and the Jets were the worst. And then for me, the Falcons had played a shit game against Seattle. But everything else was winner, chicken dinner. Unfortunately, it meant a net loss with a positive winning percentage. All right, let's go to the injury report.
Ugh.
Bunch of guys out. I mean, out for the season one, which just sucks. Not for Deshaun.
No,
Deshaun Watson.
I do need to say though, the crowd cheered when he got hurt. You shouldn't do that.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
He is a shitty person. No one wants him playing. I totally get it. You just shut up. You don't make a noise. You just okay, let him get off the field. I wouldn't cheer.
I agree. It's pretty. I mean, it just shows the disdain that they have for this guy. But yeah, that's
he didn't
you don't
want to be
cheer.
there. He wasn't doing well. Like nobody liked him. He didn't seem to like the team. It's just all great that he got hurt and has to come off, and they finally get an excuse to have anybody else play that's not him. But you really shouldn't say it out loud.
Yep, not great. I mean, Chris Godwin. Look at the Bucks right now. So if you're betting the Bucks, and we'll talk about it, but like. Chris Godwin's ankle was going the other way, completely dislocated, terrible. And then Mike Evans had a hamstring thing going on a couple of games ago, I think, and he just re-injured it, so he's going to be out. And it says doubtful, so we think he's going to be out on that game.
You got Brandon Ayuk. He's out for the season with a knee. Poor Niners. God, Lord.
Yeah.
And this one's different. Deebo Samuel with pneumonia. He tried playing, didn't make it through the whole game. He was not feeling well. So he's going to be out this week, likely, but he should be back after that. They have
a bye next week, which helps them.
Oh,
so then so this is 8. There'll be the week 9 bye, but they said though that I watched some doctors talk about this where they said it's kind of like 4 to 6 weeks until you're fully with no liquid in your lungs. Yeah. So they said he might come back then, but like he won't have the ability to play as many plays because he'll actually lose his breath faster.
That sucks. Yeah, that's a rough one to be running with that shit happening. Ugh.
As a receiver, it's like the worst position to have that.
And lastly, you got George Kittle, who's also questionable with a foot injury. Just the Niners support, poor Niners.
Yeah, I agree with that. Aiden O'Connell is out for the Raiders. They just made a change 2 weeks ago to Aiden O'Connell, and then now he injured his thumb, so he's on IR, which means that it's going to be Minshew's show again for the next couple weeks at least. Which sucks. And then, another reason why, we talked about DeAndre Hopkins, the Chiefs, Juju Smith-Schuster is hurt and out. So, him, and then they had Rashee Rice with the injury, and I think they had one more injury on the Chiefs, which is like, kind of decimating their receiving core, which is like why they had to go out and try to get somebody. But they would still finding ways to win anyway. Giants, they were out. Hyatt, I don't think that's big of a loss there, but like
the Giants. But it's funny, it's 2 rib injuries.
Yeah.
And then Jaden Daniels on the Commanders. You got to keep an eye out on this one for betting purposes.
Totally.
The Commanders are good because of Jaden Daniels. Yes, they are a good team as a whole, but Jaden Daniels is like the Josh Allen of the Commanders. You're not sure what you're going to get if he's not there, so keep that in mind when placing bets. Probably Thursday, Friday, should know for sure if he's going to be back in.
And one I forgot to put on here, Derek Carr, still, it could be. They said that he's coming back. They're trying to let him throw this week and see how it feels for the Saints. So we'll see on that one.
Or just stay away till next week.
Yeah, right. A lot of injuries, though, and be careful on these. And a lot of times there was games that I wanted to bet, and I said, let me just wait here. So, we're not, the ones we're betting, we're definitely going to be betting. But there are a couple other ones that we might want to wait and see what happens with the injuries. So getting right into it, first game of the week, Thursday Night Football, and you like this one, huh?
I do. I really do. I don't know what the thing is with the Rams, but I'm probably missing something. They looked good against the Raiders last week, but it's the Raiders. They were able to force 4 turnovers against them, but I don't know. Like, this is the Vikings. The Vikings were able to keep a close game with the Lions, who are, Super Bowl material right now. Both teams are Vikings, Lions. And it's exactly the game we wanted to see. Very close. They lost by a late field goal kicked by the Lions. That's exact game that somebody's got to win. That's how the Lions took it. So for me, -3. But I'm actually considering if I could have multiple locks, this would also be a lock. But I know that they're looking at maybe like Ayuk is still on the team. They haven't gotten rid of him.
Cooper Kupp.
Cooper Kupp is still on the team. They haven't traded him yet, and they're thinking that Nakua might come back. I still don't think that's enough. I really don't. I think that the Vikings are just that much of a better, stronger team. So for this one, it was like an easy one for me. I'm taking them by -3 for sure.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I don't think Nakua is going to be playing. It's possible, but I don't think he's going to play.
But now we have my actual lock of the week. And I'm not taking it just because it's against the Jaguars. It's Green Bay at the Jags. There's a few reasons here. Yes, the Jags got their win against the Pats. but it's the Patriots. I'm happy they won. Their coach was definitely going to get fired on the way home from London. So at least, and if you watched his reaction just like I did, because I was looking for it, it looked like he had just won like the playoff game that was taking him to the Super Bowl. It was ridiculous because we all knew the same thing. Like, at least he could play for a little longer, or he could coach for a little longer. So they're not a good team still, just because they beat the Patriots in London after they got to stay in London and everybody else had traveled, blah, blah, blah. Well, now they got to come back from London. They are at home. It doesn't really seem to matter for them. And the Packers, they're a much better team. Love threw for 220 yards and 3 touchdowns against the Texans. I definitely think that this is an easy spread. They should probably be winning by 7.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I just, for some reason, I felt like this little, like, is this a trap type thing? But I agree with
it might
everything
be.
you said. No, I mean, you're right. They don't have a bye coming out from London, so they just had to fly back from London immediately. And yeah, I agree with you. That's it. I mean, I got nothing to say. But the Packers are a better team, and they have the likes of Robert Saleh now on their side.
Forget it. Forget it.
You know?
I wonder if he's going to run those stairs.
Yeah. All right, we're both on this one. Tennessee Titans at the Detroit Lions, and we have this massive spread, 11, one of the biggest spreads we've had all year, and it makes sense. Titans now are without DeAndre Hopkins, the only weapon that they potentially had, and the Lions just look amazing, and they did what they did on the road last week, and now they're coming back home. They're gonna smoke the Titans.
Well, I mean, the Bills smoked the Titans on Sunday, so
Sure.
the Lions will definitely be able to smoke the Titans.
Yeah.
You mentioned, they're without DeAndre. He didn't do anything against the Bills. I didn't even see him. Half the time I
Sure.
saw him, he was just on the sideline, like looking confused and lost. The Titans are just a bad team, and the Bills did what they should do to them, which is great.
Sure.
It wasn't disappointing in any way, but that's why I think what was it, 34-10, I believe, was the end score for the Bills game. So the Lions can definitely cover this 11-point spread.
Yeah, I mean, like, the Titans have a good defense in theory, but they're just letting up a bunch of points anyway. And when I say good defense, I mean they're not letting up tons of yards, but for some reason the points are happening there. And then Detroit, just like on the offensive side of the ball, they look insane.
Right. Now, unfortunately, Detroit looks a little bit better than Bills, so that's why I think this minus 11 is definitely very doable. Oh, there we go. Well, here's a crap game that, oh no, sorry. Sorry, Josh, I skipped it.
Nope. Yeah, well, so now we have the Atlanta Falcons at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and for this one, it's divisional one. They're both 4-3, right? So this is like, in theory, they're it's a big fight to see who's going to be the head of the division. Unfortunately for the Bucks, you got Mike Evans and Godwin that just got hurt the last game. I think without those receivers, it's going to make it a really tough spot for the Bucks to be in. Baker the last 2 weeks has thrown a couple picks in each week. I think Falcons didn't have that good of a showing last week against the Seahawks, but I think they'll be able to. There was a couple weird turnover situations that they had, fumble, this and that.
Yeah, they're not a bad team.
No,
they're doing well with Cousins. And you'd probably lean on the Bucks if they had Evans and Godwin.
Yes,
and I wouldn't say it would be a for sure. Like, definitely they're gonna definitely pull this one out. So now that you don't have them and the Falcons are coming in, I would it seems like a good bet with the Falcons.
Yeah, with both those receivers, that's probably worth like a couple points, 4 points, 3 points. I think that the Bucks would be favored if they didn't have those injuries. So
yeah.
Tough one.
All right, now we have this should have been a crap game, but I forgot Tua might be in,
Yeah,
which
exactly.
makes it kind of the game that we all kind of want to pay attention to, more so not how does the game go, but how does Tua do. Dolphins are at home playing the Cardinals. It's a small spread, 3.5. Dolphins are actually favored. I get it. The man's been out for a while.
It's tough to know what's going to happen. You've been out for many weeks. That all of a sudden you're just going to get thrown back in. 74% of the public is on the Cardinals on this one, I think, because of that same reason, where it's like, first of all, there's a small chance he doesn't get cleared, but it seems like he's going to be playing. His own doctors cleared him. I think he just has to go through some stuff with the NFL. But yeah, I lean on the Dolphins here, but I don't want to bet it just because I don't know what he's going to look like. He might have a little bit of rust after a couple weeks out.
Or he gets hit right away.
Right, exactly. The fragile guy, jeez.
It's going to be rough to have him as your quarterback, just watching, like, please don't hit him, please don't hit him.
Yep.
I don't get it. Don't get it at all. All right, then we have the Colts at Texans, and Josh is on this one.
Yeah, I mean, I think the problem I have with the Colts is at the quarterback. And, Anthony Richardson threw for like 120 yards last week. A little bit rough. Beat the Dolphins, but the Dolphins had, Tyler Huntley at quarterback, so they really have no quarterback. They're only putting up 10 points. It's not a real game. For them to put up 16 points, that's not good enough, especially not going to be good enough against the Texans.
Bring back Flacco.
Yeah, right. So the 5.5 points with the Texans at home. C.J. Stroud actually just came off a pretty shitty game where he threw for like 90 yards, actually. Mm-hmm. It was ridiculous, but... if you looked at it, they were able to get a bunch of pressure on him, and basically it was almost one of those bad luck games that they had where they were getting false start stuff that put him behind the chains, bad calls where they were running the ball and getting hit for negative yardage. He was in 3rd and long the whole game. So, that's not going to do it. I think they'll flip that and be able to kind of have a nice comeback game against the Colts and probably should win this one by 10+. All right. Eagles at the Bengals. I mean, this is actually like a good game considering that the Bengals have been, had a couple wins here. I mean, they had played good with the Ravens. Then they had 2 wins against shitty teams, but 2 wins, Now they're 3-4 again, and it's like, are they somebody? Can they get to the playoffs?
But that's both teams.
Yes,
that's
true.
why I'm leaning here. I'm leaning on the Eagles, but you're looking at 2 teams that played crap teams and won, but not like dominated it necessarily. The Eagles dominated the Giants. But the Giants are a worse team than, pretty much anybody, I think. They're pretty...
I mean, they're bad.
They're like Panthers. Panthers, Browns, Giants, all in the same category. The Eagles, though, statistically, they have a better offense. They have a better defense than the Bengals have had this season. So, the fact that they're getting points, I think is why I would want to take them. But the Bengals are at home... And you can't just based on their past games, you can't really tell who's going to pull it out here.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you.
My opinion. So leaning. And I guess that under is probably a good one to go for if you really have to bet. Maybe take the under.
Yep. All right. Next up is my lock of the week. It's a JETS, Jets. They're 2-5. They're back against the wall here. Need the win. They only have 2 wins. One of the other ones was against the Patriots, right? A couple weeks ago, not that long ago, maybe a month ago. They won 24-3, and they had a missed field goal, and there was a couple other things that could have went their way where they should have won by 30. They really rolled on the Patriots. I think now, the Patriots have Drake May in there. They're a little bit better maybe on offense, but the Jets have a really good defense here. We got Haason Reddick back, we talked about earlier. You're going to get a nice pass rush against a rookie. And look, the Jets need it. They have to do it here. So the 7 points on the road may seem like it's a big amount because it's a divisional game, and I don't care. Jets, lock, going to happen. And if it doesn't, I'm done. I'm done for the year, but it's
they're
brutal.
definitely going to win. They have to. I can't. That would be just, yes, I get it. You should be done if they can't beat the Patriots. So that should be. It's just how are they going to look? Like, are they? Hopefully they dominate the Patriots, and you could be like, okay, well maybe there's a shot.
I don't care if they won by 1 point in overtime, which is impossible, but 2 in overtime. I really don't care. I just need a win.
Right, but when you look at them like, Jesus, you're the
no,
only
because
team
they already beat them, and now this is in Foxborough, so I don't really give a shit. It's like get the win, win at all costs.
I'm looking at the under, and I would probably bet it if I didn't care about betting unders being boring, but. With your strong defense and, shitty offense on the Patriots side, but also an offense on your end that can't seem to get it together, I feel like the under is a good bet to make also, in this case.
I get it. Last time we think we did a good job, and the total for the game was 27. Mm-hmm. I mean, last week we just scored 15 points on offense. So, maybe the end score of this game is going to be 17-13, 17-10, but I want it to be more than the 7 points. Come on, guys. Get your shit together. Go out there and say, look, we won 42-6, and we're back.
Jets are back.
The Jets are coming back. Like when I said that, what Monkey said. What are they coming back from? Like
Everything.
2010. Oh,
60,
God.
69, 68, they're coming back.
Yep.
All right, the next game up is Ravens at the Browns. I'm putting my money on this. I'm not sure why he isn't, because this seems just very easy. Yes, Watson is out. Jameis is going to start. Maybe there'll be some crazy, awesomeness going on, which would be great, but it's against the Ravens. So they're not going to – the Ravens will definitely cover this 9-point spread. The Browns, you could be proud if you lose, but you only lose by 10, I would say, is, maybe
Right.
even 14.
If it was 30 to 20, they'd be proud of it.
Right. It's like, good job. Jameis might be it, and you guys are ready to go. Like, it sucks that this is his first appearance out and is against the Ravens. We all know how disgustingly difficult the Ravens are. So I'm definitely, at least they had to crush my Bills' soul, but at least I'm going to make some more money off of them. I definitely think Ravens -9 here.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. 86% of the public is on the Ravens, and I get why they are. Look at Derrick Henry by themselves. I mean, I knew that was going to be terrible for the AFC ad, right, when it goes there. He's number one in number of carries, number of yards per carry, touchdowns for a running back, longest run, everything.
PEDs.
PED, it's got to be. I mean, there's no way he's not on PED. But yeah.
He's just naturally that big, living off of avocados and hard-boiled eggs.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. So I get where you're coming from on this one, but look, I'm rooting for Jameis to do well at least, because
I think we all are.
Yeah, he's got the rest of the year, and if he could turn something around, I always thought he could have been. There was a point at which I don't know if you guys remember that season. He threw like a lot of touchdowns, but then also a lot of picks. I think it was like 30 touchdowns and 35 picks or something like that. And then he was telling everybody, and at the time this was big money. He said like, I want 20 million a year or 25 million a year. And everyone was like, you want top dollar? And then nobody signed him.
Yeah.
And he actually didn't get signed for a starting job. And, it's a shame because I think that he could be a starter in this league. So we'll see.
Now's his chance.
Yep. Now, speaking of Jameis's former team, New Orleans Saints at the Chargers. Yeah, this is it's going to be a tough one for the Saints, I think. I mean, obviously the 7.5 points.
Right.
A little bit rough.
And that's why I'm leaning on the Saints. That high spread, Carr may start. Even if he doesn't, I don't know, it's a high spread, but I'm not taking it. It's just, if I had to pick one, I would go maybe the Saints. Chargers are not that impressive. And,
yeah.
But again, we're not really we're not actually putting our money on any of this stuff.
No, I mean, like Spencer Rattler is still, going to be questionable in terms of like how good he is here, if he's playing. So we'll see. I mean, it'd be great for them if they were able to get Carr back in.
Yeah, helpful for sure.
I think that if they do have him back in, I mean, this is going to be a contingent one. I think that maybe that hits that total with a 40. I think that the Chargers could probably put up to 20. So maybe it's going to be, but I'm not betting it.
Don't waste your time, people. Just watch it if you care. But here is a game that you should be watching, and it hits the 4 o'clock. I'm sorry, I should say for different coasts.
The second game.
Sets of games, so you can focus more on the Buffalo Bills than the other 10,000 games happening at once. The Bills are going to the Seahawks. It will be raining, but it's Seattle. You expect that. Bills can play in crap weather. They're used to that. They live in it. It's fine. Bills -3. They are favored. I love it. I would love to bet it, but I'm not jinxing it. Bills looked amazing last week against the Titans. Again, it was the Titans, but they did what they should do, a good team to a poor team. They dominated. Amari Cooper showed up. He even got a touchdown. Keon Coleman is the number one this week for anyways, he's getting accolades for being really good last week. And actually he's got good statistics that are actually they're looking at him as maybe being the rookie of the year just with what he's done so far, and we're already only on week 8. So anyways, Bills have a strong, good team. Amari was a great person to add. So, I mean, right away, we didn't see anything from Devontae on the Jets. Amari.
We're bringing it's like kicking a kid at the schoolyard.
But you
like,
guys were all. Everybody was talking about how Devontae. He's going to Jets.
Amari Cooper had like 3 catches, and one of them happened to be a touchdown. What else?
What did Devontae do?
He had 3 catches also.
And
they both did shit.
Yeah. So both started on the same time. They got as much practice in with their team as each other. It was perfect even playing field. That my point. It's only going to go up from here. It'll only go up for Devontae also on the Jets, but
it's true.
Mine started a little bit higher. Bills look good. Going to Seahawks is going to be tough. It's not something that is going to be an easy game. These Seahawks are kind of up and down, but they've had some really good games when they're good, and a few close losses where no one's dominated over them. Geno seems to get better and better. For the most part. So they are an iffy team, but the Bills can also be an iffy team. Sometimes.
Yeah, they both put up a ton of points last week. 37 for the Bills, 41 for the Seahawks, so they could both score. The Seahawks offensively on the passing side of the ball, they're putting up a bunch of yards passing. So they're probably going to be able to score more than the Titans did. but
obviously,
but the Bills should be able to score on that Seattle defense. So I hear where you're coming from on this one. I mean, the total, it shows that with a high total of 47. I think that I would lean on the under the 47 just because I have a feeling that it could be that they, if the Bills come out with a big lead right away, the Seahawks can just roll over because I've seen them do that this year.
And also the amount of rain, how can you do the throwing game or do you have to do the passing game kind of no.
Yeah, if you're running instead, then it's going to slow the game down and you'll be less scores. Yeah.
You know what words I'm trying to figure out. Stupid language.
All right, Chicago Bears at the Washington Commanders. And again, this one we talked about it. Be careful. We don't know if Jaden Daniels is playing. And that's really a big question mark here. And that affects the total. It affects the spread and everything else.
If Jalen does end up playing, I'm actually going to put money on this game. So right now if he's in, I don't think he's going to be. It seems like too close, too tight. But Commanders plus 1.5. Now obviously the spread's going to change, but if you're looking at the Bears versus the Commanders are at home. I wholeheartedly believe that home field advantage with your fans cheering, and Commanders now have fans because they're doing better. Caleb is good, but they're not really there yet. They're still working on things. They're going to be a good team maybe next year. They need this year to kind of fully figure out who they are. But the Commanders they got it all figured out. They've beat some strong teams. They just look good. But if he's not in, you don't know what's going to happen. I would probably take the Bears if that was the case.
Yeah, I mean, this is an interesting one because both of these guys got drafted, right? So this, who was going to go? Who should have went first? Caleb Williams goes first, and then Jaden Daniels gets picked next. So who is right, who is wrong? They both look really good, so I'm jealous of both of them. All right, next up, Panthers at the Broncos. I like this one a lot. I like the Broncos in this one. We talked about Bryce Young playing instead of Andy Dalton. If he loses this game, it'll be 10 in a row, which would be 10 in a row as a starter, which would be one of the worst streaks in the Super Bowl era. So that's not good. And frankly, the Broncos actually have a pretty good defense. So it's that recipe where you have a young guy, Bo Nix, and on the offensive side of the ball, but their defense actually looks really good. So I just think that the Panthers are going to have another rough game. I know it's 9 points, so I think it could be one of these 17-point winners.
Oh, yeah, probably. And again, I probably will add money to it if I decide I need to.
If you're winning or losing, right?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's just it's one of those things because I think all my other bets are going to win. It's just kind of it's just I don't like this time slot when the Bills are on. I want to just focus on the Bills. I don't want a lot of bets going on. Well, here's a crap game because we hate the cheats, and the Raiders would love you to crush the cheats, but you're the Raiders right now, and you don't have a lot going on for you. So,
yeah, I mean they lost Devontae obviously, and but Minshew's back in. That might give him a little bit better of a chance. But the 10 points is so many points. Divisional game for 10 points is rough.
Absolutely. So if you're going to look at this game for betting purposes, I would take the Raiders because the Chiefs will find a way to win no matter what they do. but they never cover. It is so rare that they actually cover a spread.
Yeah.
And this is going to be one of those instances where they'll probably just win by 7 and no one wins any money. It's just ridiculous. It will be interesting to watch DeAndre if he's playing all right in this game, just to see what he does, if he does anything. But I would just stay away from this game or take the Raiders.
Yep.
Because Chiefs never cover, and they're just a crappy team.
Fortunately, they did against the Niners last week. But outside of that, I agree with it. All right, Sunday Night Football. This is like the, if 1994 called and they want their game of the week back, it's the Cowboys at San Francisco 49ers. Going to be raining in Cali on this one. I'm going with the Cowboys. I mean, she thinks a little bit differently on this one. Cowboys plus the 4.5 points. This is another one where the Cowboys are coming off a bye. And Mike McCarthy has been good off a bye in his career. I think he's 12-5 off a bye. He's 3-1 with the Cowboys off a bye, which includes 2-1 on the road off a bye. And with the fact that the Niners are banged up so much on offense with the receivers out, I think it's a tough one. I mean, no Debo, no Kittle, no Ayuk. I think it's going to be a tough road against a team that's got some fresh legs coming off a bye. So I'm going with the Cowboys on this one.
Yeah, I don't know. The Cowboys they find a way to lose bad. They embarrass Jerry Jones quite often. Now Purdy, he had 3 interceptions against the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Last week. That's not good. If he could maybe not do those, I think that they'll definitely demolish the Cowboys, because I just don't have any faith in the Cowboys. I think they're just not good. We all know for years, Dak, you get into Dak's head, he's done. And you can even pinpoint it when the exact moment it happens. Mm-hmm. And the Niners defense can be good at doing that, but it's kind of all up to Purdy this time, not to throw any interceptions. So that's why I'm leaning on the Niners and not taking them, because it's kind of like any given Sunday, you don't know what's going to happen.
Yep, I hear you. All right, then we go to Monday Night Football. And is what the world wants, is to watch Monday Night Football with the New York Giants. After watching so many New York Jets primetime games, they get a little treat. They have the Giants now. The other bullshit New York team that we have, New Jersey. You say it. Yeah, I know you're
I'm just letting it go because you're just sad all on your own. I felt so bad for Giants fans. We were in the city actually watching football on Sunday and just surrounded by Giants fans. And you just look at them, you're like, these people got up early. They made plans to come to whatever bar they chose. They put their gear on to just know that their team is going to lose, and they got crushed. They scored 3 points. That was all that these poor fans were able to cheer, was for 3 points the entire couple hours that they stayed at the bar watching. And so Giants fans, I don't even know how you do it. Good for you. Like, the Giants should be so lucky to have the kind of fans that they have. But with that being said, we're definitely taking Steelers at -6.5. Steelers at home, because the Giants do suck. And honestly, I was not impressed with Russ Wilson against you guys. He did not do anything. I thought he had to scramble a little too much. I thought he made some bad decisions. But, you're going up against the Giants. He should be fine.
Yeah, I thought he played well. I mean, I think that the Giants are just bad. And I think their line is a problem. So, the Giants, I don't know how they're going to score on offense when they can't protect the quarterback. And they just can't. And looking at what happened with the Jets game and looking at the Steelers before that, they bring a pass rush, right? TJ Watt, that whole thing. They're going to bring the house, and Giants can't block them. So the Giants won't score. So basically, Pittsburgh just needs to put up like 17 points, 14 points, and they're going to win the game.
Right.
So I like this one at the 6.5. Really like it.
You probably just have to watch the first half hour, and then we can turn it off, because we'll be like, yeah, we'll be fine.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there's no 2 Monday night games this time. It's just 1 Monday night game.
Thank goodness. Hate those.
Yeah.
Very annoying.
All right, just a quick run through. What are we actually betting? Chance to screenshot this one, and if you did, you would have went 80% 2 weeks ago and 63% last week. Or
you could just follow my bets, because I'm like 95%. Well, speaking of that, I'm taking the Vikings -3 versus the Rams. That's for Thursday night. I think I have full faith in the Vikings and no faith in the Rams. And then we have my lock of the week. Packers -4 versus the Jaguars. Jags are coming back from London. They're not good. They won against the Patriots. Packers are definitely a stronger team, and the spread's only -4. Definitely taking that. That's why it's my lock of the week. And then we're both on the Lions -11 versus the Titans because the Titans are that bad. The Lions are that good. This -11 will easily be covered on Sunday during the early games.
Yep, and I'm on the Falcons -2.5 points versus the Bucks because the Bucks have injuries at the receiver position, and it's going to be too much for them to not be able to get it going on offense. Then I'm on the Texans -5 points versus the Colts because, frankly, the Colts offensively with Anthony Richardson are not good. So the Texans will be able to do their thing. Snapback game. Stroud will have more than the 86 yards he passed for last week. And then the next one, my lock, Jets
I didn't get the noise.
Well, I forgot, and then now
Jerk.
I didn't. Jets -7 points versus the Patriots because they beat them once already by a good amount 1 month ago, and I think they'll do it again because they need it.
Then I have the Ravens -9 versus the Browns. I hope Jameis has a great game, but he's not going to be able to lose by less than 9 for sure against the Ravens. The Ravens are just that good. I'll be rooting for Jameis just to have a positive run. Glad that he gets to play out the rest of the season, but definitely Ravens all day on that one.
Yep. And then I am on the Broncos. A lot of points. That's okay against those Panthers because the Panthers are trash and the Broncos have a really good defense. And then I'm on the Cowboys plus the 4 points versus the Niners, who are all banged up at receiver. And the Cowboys are coming off a bye, which Mike McCarthy is pretty good coaching off of a bye.
And we're both taking the Steelers -6.5 versus the Giants because, sorry, Giants fans, the Giants are awful. And the Steelers are not only really good compared to the Giants, but they're at home. So Monday Night Football will be a quick watch. You'll see they're up and over that -6.5, and that'll probably be the way the game stays. And you can shut it off and know that you'll get your money.
Yeah, no, back-to-back primetime games for the Steelers. Russ is going to cook. We'll see what happens.
Oh, God, I hate that.
All right, well, that's it for the week, guys. Hopefully you do good in your betting, And that's it, We'll see you next time. It'll be, before Halloween.
Yes,
We'll probably release the next one on Halloween for a spooky session.
And that's when the Jets play.
And the Jets will be playing on Halloween, too. So I'm excited about that one.
Probably not. I think it's a good team.
The Texans, wow. Of course. Should be easy.
Okay. Yeah, great.
All right, everybody. Have a good one. Bye.
Go Bills. Go Bills.
Couple of bettors.
I want to make money.